So thanks so much everybody for hopping on in the chat. I see a lot of familiar faces from last week. So let me know if you were in the comments, if you were there in person, if you watched virtually, or if whatever we are throwing at you tonight is kind of like the first time you are hearing this. And I am Steffi Malborough. I am a executive mentor since we had title changes this last week. And I am so glad that you guys are taking time out of your evening to be here with us for our SFR recap. And I want to say an extra thank you to our senior mentors who jumped in without any questions saying, yeah, we'll come help you with this Spark session tonight. And we hopped on early to talk about topics. And did we divvy anything up? No. So we're going to be flying by the seat of our pants tonight. And I appreciate them so much for just jumping in and saying yes to Teresa and myself. So this last week we were at home office for our 22nd convention. This is the second time that Scentsy has held convention at Boise. I was not around in 2008 when we had convention there the first go around, but it's always so much fun and just inspiring to be back at home office and be around home office staff and then obviously all of you guys. So Teresa's going to pull up the slides to just show you a little bit, a glimpse into our week if you were not there with us, or perhaps you were virtually so you didn't get to experience our opening night, which was held at home office grounds. We had a big, huge firework display that went on. I don't know if anybody else checked their watch, like 5 times to be like, holy cow, this is still going. We had a huge firework display. We had ample amounts of food trucks available to us. Every single food truck within probably 100-mile radius of Boise was at the home office parking lot to feed us. We had an exclusive VIP section set up for those of you who earned the For the Love of Warmers challenge. We had a little bit of a controversial item given to us, which was the camp chair. I brought mine home perfectly unscathed, and I hope so many of you did as well. And what a fun souvenir that was for each of us to come home with. So that was our opening night. And I don't think did we have Heidi's keynote on opening night? That might have been during the first general session, but we kicked off just on a high of all good things coming our way. If you could take me to the slide post opening night. So there we had fireworks, we had food trucks, we had our VIP seating if you were an incentive earner, and then our gift of our camp chair. And next slide then. Perfect. So we had our first general session. We heard from Dan Orchard, and which he offered us a personal challenge, and I'm actually going to write that down again so we make sure that we hit that on the very end because Teresa doesn't have to come up with a challenge for us. Dan Orchard laid down the groundwork to challenge every single one of us to sponsor one new consultant between now and the end of the year. And if we do that, that is a huge, huge monumental goal that Scentsy has set for us. And I have no doubt that each and every one of us can sponsor one person between now and the end of the year. So that was his challenge from us. We heard from Jen Audette, executive mentor, and she is a party queen and very inspiring. We heard from Heidi, we heard from Chuck, we heard from our Blake Erickson who spoke on the science of scaling, and then we also heard from Amy Jo Martin, where we kind of have, a lot of us have ran with this idea of we can do less better. And I remember Chloe, in fact, I heard Chloe say it during the consultant panel, and maybe I missed it when Amy Jo said it, but when Chloe said it, which was like, do less better, that really resonated with me because I feel like so often I'm just turning my wheels and doing all the things and doing way too much when I've scaled back in my business and just focused on having more one-on-one conversations, more connection, more, touch points when it comes to that individually. So doing less, but doing it better. I've seen exponential growth in my business. And then also we heard from Orville Thompson to round out our week. I'm going to go ahead and toss the baton over to Brandy, who's going to be talking a little bit about huge announcement that came out at SFR and then was rolled out Monday, which was Amazon.
Hey guys. Yeah, so probably the biggest announcement we've had in a long time, and definitely some questions there. But the biggest thing to take away from that is it's not going to take away from your business at all. So we have Scentsy has started a storefront on Amazon. And if you 5 days ago went and looked on Amazon and searched Scentsy, you would have found a ton of unauthorized sellers, which sucks. And now it's not like that. So on Monday, Scentsy launched their storefront, and we're actually kind of late to the game on that one as far as direct selling goes. Almost all other direct selling companies have it on Amazon already. And so now when you search Scentsy, and you can go, if you can pick up your phone, Amazon it, if you search Scentsy now, we're actually the first thing that shows up. And you can see that, I don't know if I can share my screen, but if you see the first thing that comes up, it is our Scentsy 3-bar pack, which is great. And if you click on that, it takes you to a better description, beautiful pictures, and then next to or under the description is a visit the Scentsy store, and it's a beautiful page. Like, honestly, I wish our websites looked like this. And this is how we can now get rid of those unauthorized seller. And the big thing is that there's only going to be, I think they said, a total of 20 products. And right now, I don't think there's even 20 on there yet. It's going to be pre-selected items like a 3-bar pack in fragrances that Scentsy chooses. And the cost, if you look at it, cost of a 3-bar pack is $27.99. So that means it's the bars plus shipping. And every product will be charged shipping. So if you buy 2 3-packs, you're paying $60 for 6 bars of wax. So Amazon is not the place to buy Scentsy, but it is a way to get our brand name out there that increases our brand awareness. And everybody is going to get a little packet with their order that will show them how to find a local consultant and order from them. There's a fragrance flower on there that they can buy. Again, it's like $27.99, I believe. And they're going to see in the catalog or on a consultant's website that they can get it for $18.
We are launching an
Why are they going to keep buying on Amazon? So this is going to...
We know that might raise some questions, and we want you to understand why we're doing it.
Every legitimate brand,
it's playing,
including every major direct selling brand, all
do I keep talking or do I stop? Okay. And yes, Heidi and Orville did a video. It's a great video. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. So I think that covers, yes, that someone asked the question about they can get it from Amazon in 2 days, but it takes us 2 weeks. That is a question I also struggle with. But if you want to pay $60 for a 6-pack of wax, I mean, you should get it in 2 days. But I think people will figure that out, and they will go to a consultant. So I really don't think it's anything to be worried about. And I think it's going to be really great for brand awareness and new customers.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to Andrea, who's going to talk about TikTok, and then I'll be checking the search too. I know we're bouncing around topics, but there's so much information to share with you guys. So I will also be checking out the chat to see if there's any questions hopping there. So Andrea, there's so many faces. I'm sure you're here. So once you start talking, then I'm sure you'll pop up for me. Right now I'm looking at...
I'm here.
Perfect. Go ahead, friend.
I'm here. Hello. Hi, guys. So I personally am super excited about TikTok. I will be the first to tell you, I have only very minimally dabbled in TikTok. I've had it for about a year, but I don't even know how to use it. So this is going to be a learning curve for me, but I'm really excited about the opportunity that this holds for all of us, because the purpose of all of the Amazon and the TikTok is more brand awareness. And so the more people that we can get our brand out there to, the better. And so from my personal understanding about TikTok is, and anybody is, please hop in and correct me if I'm missing something or I forget something. But as far as TikTok is concerned, from what I understand, so our goal by September 1st, which is supposed to be the launch date for that, is 1,000 followers. And then at that point, we can apply to be, I don't know what the name of it is called, but we can apply to be basically a TikTok seller. And then from what Heidi and Orville explained to us was that and I don't know what the application process on that is. So if anybody knows, or if they've disclosed that, hop on and let everybody know. But it's kind of the same premise as Amazon. They are not going to be launching any kind of LTO products on there. It's going to kind of mirror Amazon. They're going to have limited products on there. And the biggest thing is this, they're never going to offer anything to potential customers on TikTok that like the limited time offers and stuff, they want us to be going to them. I mean, they want us to be coming to us for those. But also with the TikTok stuff, they're going to be including shipping on everything, and they're only going to be doing specific items. And the reason why they had to partner with Amazon as well is because Amazon is a fulfillment for TikTok Shop. So that kind of went hand in hand with one another, which makes sense. But they're never going to be able to get something for less than what we can get it for on our PWS. So they've really made it more competitive to where like if somebody wants something on TikTok, they're not going to get it cheaper on TikTok than they would through us. So if they really fall in love with it and they decide that they love it, then at that point they're going to encourage the customers to find a consultant. And I do believe that I heard Heidi and Orville say they're going to send sort of marketing something like a QR code, something like that for Scentsy.com so that they can go and search and find a consultant. And for right now, it's USA only, like Cass is saying right now, it's USA only. And they didn't really give us any kind of rollout on when it will be available in other markets, but hopefully this will do well enough that we can spread wider, because right now it's just going to be about brand awareness. I know that it was also asked, one of the questions was, will we receive the information of the customers who are ordering on TikTok? And they said no. And the reason for that is because TikTok protects that information. And so they're not planning on giving any of that information. So at that point, we can't have like a private reach point or anything with those customers. And I mean, we've heard it time and time again. That's some of the reasons why they opened up Scentsy.com, was because there are people out there who like the brand and want the brand, but they just don't want a relationship with a consultant, and we have to respect that. So that is something to also be thinking of. But like Cass is saying in the chat, we can still there's tons of Scentsy content all over TikTok right now. Like there's tons of consultants who have been doing this for years and years and years. And I know that Teresa had a slide where there's a German consultant, I believe, and I saw the post today too. And he was just encouraging us in the USA who maybe are not utilizing TikTok to our advantage right now to get our feet wet and just really kind of dive into that. And just, we don't have to be experts and we don't have to know everything, but just give it a shot, because the more we're all doing it, the more awareness that we're bringing to the brand. And so Dan was saying on stage that they are going to be, the sales from TikTok are going to be then whoever's approved to be like an authorized TikTok shop seller or ambassador or whatever it is that they were calling us. those sales, they'll turn around and pay us in commission accordingly, is what was told to us. So what that's going to look like, I'm sure that more details will roll out, but this is just kind of like the umbrella of information that we received. Did I miss anything?
No, I was going to type in the chat. If TikTok is something that you want to dabble in, give a try. It is something that I was not on at all until Summit. So I just was like, all right, I'm doing this. So my challenge to you, don't be too overwhelmed with the idea of one more social media platform. My challenge for you right now, and trying to understand how Scentsy fits in and TikTok Shop and all of that, just right now, the objective is, if you want to give this a try, I challenge you to get to 1,000 followers. That's when the TikTok shop becomes available to you on TikTok's end. We'll find out what criteria Scentsy has in store for what a Scentsy TikTok shop creator looks like. But I think that that's a bite-sized manageable goal that we have control of right now and focusing on. So if you have a team, work together. Me and some of my directors have been like, like a follow for a follow. So like I would challenge you between now and September 1st, if this is something that you want to try, go create a TikTok account and start playing around with it. Use past content that you have in your phone, some B-roll footage, maybe from last week at SFR or previous things that you've done. Maybe even just like a content bucket for you. Maybe you're into gardening right now or it's summertime and the kids are out, like whatever you want to do content-wise, just start getting comfortable with posting on TikTok and then also set a goal for yourself to get to 1,000 followers so that when this opens up and becomes available to us, you're ready to go. So work with your teams, work with your Scentsy friends and be like, hey, I'm going to give TikTok a try. You follow me, I'll follow you. And let's all support each other in building to 1,000 followers. And I think that's well within our control there. Teresa, can I toss that one to you, the host rewards to insider rewards?
Yes, let me get back over here. Sorry, I'm on my phone, so it's hard for me to Okay, so for the host rewards, we're just really what we're trying to do here is modernize our verbiage and the words that we're using. As Steffi mentioned, we're just a little bit behind, but we are completely getting caught up here. So instead of host rewards, there's no changes to the rewards themselves. We are now just going to begin calling it insider rewards. Because there's so many ways that you could earn rewards, and some people will host a party and some people will host a shopping link. And so we just wanted to make sure that we had a new umbrella, with the new terminology. So like it says here, sometimes a new direction is exactly what we need to discover new customers, new growth, new success. So nothing huge there other than the words are changing from host rewards to insider rewards. And I will move over to the next slide.
And if any friends want to jump into, Lauren, Samantha, I don't want to leave y'all hanging too. Feel free to jump in. We've got some upcoming products to show, and then also consultant title changes, which is really exciting and something I kind of teased at earlier. All right, so Teresa's got up our Harvest collection and edit, and I believe looking at this, never mind, I'm gonna look at my thing. So we got this, and it is our insert that goes into your catalog, and this will be dropping on August 1st, am I correct? So we were shown all sorts of incredible products. This is, since we now have a perennial, right? A yearly catalog. I can't use big fancy words because then I won't understand myself. A yearly catalog is what this is. And so that's what we've been using. We still got 6 months left of this guy. This was given to us at convention and it is an insert. So for those of you who love your pumpkins and your apples and you were panicking, like, how am I going to get my hands on fall, winter fragrances? That's what this is for your customer. Also, something that was pointed out to me today during my team's Work It Wednesday every single fall winter fragrance, at least in the US and Canada, where we were given this, has every single scent comes in pods. I don't know if anybody else picked that up, but we are no longer nitpicking between, like, oh, I absolutely love Christmas Cottage. Every single scent on this back grid comes in pods now. So that's really exciting for all the products that we have that utilize pods. There is so many good fragrances in here. So this is meant to go inside here. And now your customers have a full product display of both spring, summer, annual, everything that sticks around our top sellers, as well as fall, winter fragrances. And these things drop on August 1st. So that's together. Then we announced this is where I'm going to goof up my dates. When is Harvest and when is Halloween? We have these two coming out. One is August 17th.
Harvest.
Harvest.
Yes,
Harvest. Okay. Harvest is August 17th. This is all of your pumpkins and apples and not scary things. So we have a Harvest brochure as well. I don't know if you guys have noticed that Halloween and fall is creeping out earlier and earlier and earlier each year. I mean, Hobby Lobby has Christmas out now. And so Scentsy is trying to catch up. We're not quite there yet, but August 17th is better than September 1st. So August 17th is when we have all sorts of new fun products coming out so that your customers can get their hands on then mid-August, their pumpkins and adorable fall items. And then the last, yes, go ahead.
I'm going to add, these are the 5 fragrances that you can get as early release in the workstation right now. And there's also stickers for these in the consultant store that you can buy.
Perfect. And then the last brochure that we have, is this one September 1st then, friends? The Halloween? Okay.
Yeah.
So then we also were shown Halloween. We were also shown holiday too, but us as consultants could not buy the holiday brochures yet. So what we have on hand is what I've shown you so far. So here's our Halloween brochure. And this is where all of your spooky, your bats, your ghosts. We have some amazing, I don't know if they put a big enough picture in here for me to show you guys, but we have, oh, it's tiny. So it's not a great, but if you can see this haunted house, it screams $100+ from Pottery Barn, if you ask me. In fact, I probably looked at it multiple times last year on Pottery Barn's website, and it was not a warmer. It was just a decor light up house. And here we are with our very own that actually is a warmer. So I'm very excited about that. I will also say, and maybe the other gals can chime in too, I was blown away at the size of our warmers this year. There is no teeny tiny little guys. Every single one of these was, I mean, here. Look how big this is. This is our wall fan, our fan diffuser, and it has, it's the size of my hand. So this will be going into my laundry room probably in the next week or so, but every single one for the price point of our products, the warmers are big decor pieces, and I'm really, really thankful for that.
And Stephanie, on the new wall fan, a lot of people were kind of shocked that it's not plastic like what we're used to. It's
Right.
more of a ceramic, and it's very upscale, and it's heavier. It just looks so much better.
I didn't realize it was a wall fan. I thought it was a mini when they were showing it up on the display. So when we got this passed out, I was like, oh, heck yeah, I'll use that. I'll actually use that. So this is coming out.
And it has almost matching. So I don't know if you said this, but the Halloween is technically the edit for September. So the flyers, these will be available mid-August 15th. And there was new product, the reed diffuser.
Yeah.
So instead of a flower, it has the reed diffuser. And then these 3 bars are a play on, or a version of bars we already have, Luna, Amazon Rain, and Lilac and Violet, I think. It's like
Yes.
a spooky version of those bars to go in the edit. And the scent circles look really cool.
Oh.
I don't know if you can see them, but it looks
Black and-
amazing.
Black and purple, and they kind of reminds me of like Haunted Mansion, like a
Yeah.
fabric on the Haunted Mansion ride.
Yeah.
Someone asked me at SFR, why are we doing the reed diffusers? Like kind of what would be the take on that? And it was really kind of exciting with the release of the way they're doing the scents, kind of making it a darker side, like on the Luna and things like that. I immediately thought of the men that we sell to. Not very many men, at least at my shows and things, are purchasing the flowers, but they definitely like the concept. But this is a great way to market the same type of product to the men. And the same thing with those 3 scents. It's a great way to introduce it because you kind of have the Luna for the ladies, and then you have that darker side for the men with the dark Luna. And so I thought that was a neat way to be able to kind of introduce our products that have been here, and then the new product, and be able to get those all in combination and reach a further market.
Totally. I put in idea share probably every other week. We need something other than flowers for the guys.
Perfect. I think the last slide that I know we wanted to be sure that we covered was title changes, and feel free to drop in the chat. I'd love to hear if you guys, what your current title is, or if you already know what your new title will be. Those are going to roll out on September 1st. So we have elevated new consultant titles coming out, and backstory to this, if Cass was at Summit with me this year, this was a lobby chat. We had Dan cornered in the hotel lobby at Summit, and we were like, hey, a couple of us are kind of wanting like new titles so we sound like, we can be taken serious out in the world. We know what superstar director means amongst us as consultants, but when I go to a network marketing event or the Chamber of Commerce, I typically lean towards like I'm a top leader with a global fragrance company, or I'm in sales, or basically anything to get around from saying I'm a superstar director to some guy in banking or selling insurance. So it was loosely a topic at Summit just this last April. And now look, here we are in July. And if that's not more of a recent proven, like home office is always listening to us. And so from that hotel lobby conversation, it continued on for the next couple of superstar director calls and just, one-on-one conversations with the executives at home office. And this is what they've rolled out. So absolutely zero changes to our compensation plan. None. So compensation plan is exactly where it is and where it will be. The only thing has changed is just elevating our names. And so essential consultant now will be called partner. Certified partner. Lead is a coach because that's when you start to obviously grow your team and you are coaching your team member. Star, senior coach. You've been a coach and now you have a little bit more practice underneath you. You are a senior coach. Superstar consultant now becomes associate mentor. You are taking on the role of a mentor. You're an associate mentor. You're filling those shoes and you're starting to lead your organization as a mentor. Director, mentor. Star director is now our senior mentors, and our superstar director now becomes our executive mentor. So no changes to the comp plan. You just get a fancy new title. I have seen quite a few people asking about business cards and titles and all of that. Use what you have. Please do not go and spend doll hairs just to go spend dollars because you got a new title. I will forever and always, if I still had star director or superstar consultant labels kicking around, I'd still be using them because my name is still Steffi Malbrough. So regardless of what my title says, use what you've got. Obviously, as you promote up, if you need to order new business supplies, go ahead. I do believe I saw somebody asking today, can we start using our new title? And the answer was yes. So if you want to start using it now before September 1st, by all means. But please, we never want to encourage you to go spend money just because Scentsy made a change at home office. Use what you have, use what you want to, and just run with it in the meantime. But I'm really excited about these title changes. And if anybody else wants to cover what's coming up in August, and I also want to end on the note too that end of month live, this month will be the very first one that we're rolling over to YouTube. So if you are not following Scentsy's YouTube channel yet, then that's where it'll be. And I believe Cass or Teresa, can you help remind me? I think they said 4 Mountain, right? That'll be the time slot for the end of month live. I think they said 4 Mountain because I was converting it in my head to being 3 o'clock my time, which I love because that means I get to end my day at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon instead of waiting around for the end of month live. 60. Okay, perfect. So if somebody else wants to run with what's coming in August, and Teresa has a couple slides to give you guys if you weren't there at SFR or watching virtual, we have teasers for you for August, September, and October.
Okay, so who wants to take on the coming up in August? Go ahead and jump in.
I'll run with it if nobody wants to.
Thank you.
Flying by the seat of my pants here and just going to read the slide. But the NFL in minis, which is amazing. And now you can reach out to everyone that bought a big one and sell them a little one. Lots of new Disney collections and wax collections. You might not be able to tell from the slide, but that is Hocus Pocus on there. No, not Hocus Pocus. Practical Magic, sorry. Yes, a wax collection for Practical Magic, which is so exciting. Lots of pumpkin warmers, hand done. That blue one is beautiful. No two the same. They're all hand painted. Jack Skellington, Nightmare Before Christmas, Alice in Wonderland, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. What else we got?
I think they said the large helmets are going to be in all teams. Is that what I remember?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
All
and then the
teams
minis
now.
are limited.
Mm-hmm.
There's just 10 minis.
Right. And there probably is pictures of those minis floating out. I know Detroit was in there, and Raiders and Buffalo and Cowboys and Eagles. Yeah, August is going to be huge. So be ready. And that Harvest collection that comes on August 17th is going to be big. September, let's see, again, big, huge with Halloween. So you can get all your fall people their stuff in August. And then the next paycheck, they can buy all their Halloween stuff on September 1st. It's perfect. The Mickey Mouse ears. The hat is so adorable. It has the embroidery in the back. And then there is also a Disney Parks wax collection. So I think it shows 3 in the picture, but there's actually 5, I believe. More peanuts. There's a baby blanket with peanuts, some mini warmers. The Halloween, that big one in the middle, the tree, is a diffuser cover. New product is candle holders. We've been asking for those forever with smaller candles, which we got to take one home. I haven't tried mine yet, but they'll be interchangeable. So you can buy just the candle and put it in your candle holder and be able to switch out the scent. So definitely more along Scentsy lines, not having to use a whole candle. So that's fun. And I also don't remember the exact date, but we're getting new fragrances for the Solo too. So there's a whole list of fall and winter fragrances coming in Solo. Scentsy current fragrances, but also some new Solo fragrances. You want me to keep going? Anyone else want to jump in? Yeah, we found a way to turn a candle into a warmer. Perfect. The October edit is going to be the gingerbread. That gingerbread house is adorable. It was so popular last year, and we got to see some of the things that will be in it, which is a train. Yep, there it is. That gingerbread train. Holy smokes. It was adorable. A wax collection, and then the house as a candle also. So cute. Lots of Christmas warmers. And I don't know how to describe this, but they felt very obviously like Pottery Barn-esque, but the pinks and the blues and I think the tree was kind of like it just very kind of vintage, I would say, but really fun, very unique, new topper for the red truck. So everybody's going to be super excited that. Obviously the partnership with Elf, getting to do the Buddy the Elf, Elf the Buddy, Buddy the Buddy. So that one, the leg lamp, people are going to lose their mind. And then the partnership with Coca-Cola. I'm a star director or a senior mentor. I already forgot the names, but I'm not privy to all of the things, but I'm still waiting for a Coca-Cola bear. I know nothing, but I think we need a Coca-Cola bear buddy. More Alice in Wonderland and Winnie the Pooh. Some of the bars I noticed were new labels, but same fragrance as the old collections. And I'm sure there's more. Oh, and the monkeys are our charitable cause for Mango the Monkey, I think is what he was called. And you get 2 buddies and they're magnetic. So they magnetize together. They're adorable and so soft. So
moving with our brand awareness, that partnership with Coca-Cola is going to be huge just because that's such a name brand, household name that people see. I just think that's really going to do a lot as we're continuing that brand awareness to get that out there and, you know, letting people see us and that we are known. We're not just something that's under the radar. Scentsy is known and we're partnering with great companies.
Yeah. Yeah, that leg lamp is adorable. And those partnerships are huge for all of them, like you said, with the Coke, all the people. And if you do events, putting those eye-catching, not branded, but Disney licensed, all those things in the front of your booth just grabs people that would have never looked twice or once at a booth.
Yes. And Brandy, I don't know if this is going backwards. I was trying to catch everything you were saying, but with the Care Bears, when they talked about it and when I saw it in Expo, I didn't notice it, but when we got to go to home office, the new blue Care Bear is actually weighted. I thought he was glued down and I was like, wait a minute, what's happening? And he's a little bit fluffier, so to say. We're going to call him Fluffy. He's a little bit fluffier than the other ones, but he is a weighted bear.
That is. And the other thing in Expo, if you were there, they had a lot of little sneaks and how do you say, like, a lot of home office people have a hard time keeping secrets. Like, they're excited about things and they want to give us like hints that are really, really good hints. But showing things that, I mean, this might be off, well, it's definitely off topic, but might come up later. But home office, when I say that, I mean all the people, they were so excited for us to be there. Like, I don't know if you've ever felt that way when you have friends come to visit, you know, like your college roommate or some friend, you know, from somewhere else, and they come to your hometown and you want to show them all of your favorite things. Like, that was the feeling I had when I was there. Like, every single employee was so excited to see us. They were so grateful for what we do for them. And it was a feeling I've been to home office and things like that, but anywhere else in any other part of my life, I've never felt that way, that they loved us and they were so grateful for what we do for them. It was really good to be there.
All right, so let's end on a high note, an additional high note, which is how many of you were on the Spark session yesterday with Eldon or have caught the replay? Because kudos to Jason. He already has the Spark session from yesterday already up and posted. So if you need to catch the replay, and it was all about every detail about the incentive trip location. So if you have ever earned an incentive trip before, you know that typically at the end of qualifications, after you've earned the trip, Eldon would host a Zoom and he would just lay out the itinerary and the location and where you will fly into. And he just paints this picture of in 2 months, in 3 months, like these are all the things that you're going to be doing and seeing and smelling and eating. And he just does such a good job walking us through. We were yesterday like blown away with, instead of waiting until after we have officially earned the incentive trip, he actually did the whole entire presentation for us as if we had already earned it yesterday. So catch the replay. I'd love to know in the chat if you are pushing for Iceland, if you are pushing for Africa, and then also it was verified and confirmed. I saw a lot of questions and speculation. Can you choose SFR? Yes. So in years past, some of you may know that sometimes level 1 could be SFR registration. So there was confusion like, can I go to SFR? Can I not? That there was confusion around that. Yes. Say you are 34 weeks pregnant at the time of Iceland and obviously flying all the way to Amsterdam and then getting on a cruise ship is probably not the best idea at 34 weeks. And so maybe Iceland's out of the question and therefore maybe Africa then too. So yes, you could choose Scentsy Family Reunion to be your incentive trip destination. What that would look like is your flight credit, your hotel, your registration is covered. But for tonight's excitement, we're talking about Iceland and Africa. We do have the dates for Iceland. It's June 6th through June 13th. Yesterday, Eldon said on the call, they don't have dates nailed down specifically for Africa yet, but they are leaning towards springtime. For us in the US, that would not be springtime in Africa. So keep that in mind that their seasons are different. That would be more like fall weather. And so they're looking at April or May because we've got Iceland in June. And so he just, if you get the opportunity, even if it's when you're, unloading the dishwasher or taking a shower, tune into yesterday's Spark session because the way that he paints the picture is just like, it's not, I really want to earn that. Your verbiage is going to change to I have to, or I will earn that, because the way that he walks us through every single port call and where you will fly in and the options that you have. You can fly into Amsterdam and then take a short bus ride. You could fly in early and go to Paris. You could fly in early, and he threw out London. Like, he just paints this picture like nobody else I've ever experienced before. So those are our 2 incentive trip locations. And we're really, really excited for that. And then I also just wanted to end on Dan's note, which is he challenged each and every one of us between now and the end of the year to sponsor 1 new consultant. And I think that's the challenge that Teresa and I want to run with too. I'm going to take a look at the chat if there's any other questions, and if any of my other friends have anything else to add in that we may have forgotten, I'll leave it there.
Someone was asking, I don't have it handy, for the link for where they can find the recordings from the Spark session. So I don't know if anyone has that handy and can post it in the chat. Yes, Skill Studio on Facebook or the workstation. That's what I thought, but I did have a link to it and I just wasn't able to post it in.
And then also in the Scented Skills Studio, the group on Facebook, that's kind of like the hub for the main trainings or the major trainings, like Thursday night shift, also the Spark sessions, and then United We Rise. With every post for Spark sessions, you will see at the bottom of the post the link for the replays as well. I hope that helps. Okay, and then we also had the announcement about Scentsy Family Reunion. Do we have anyone that wants to share a little bit about that? Because that's how we ended Scentsy Family Reunion. Lauren, or maybe I know Brandy's helped out so.
What we're doing next year
Yes.
in Louisville, which I'm not pronouncing that right. It's actually where my parents met, so I need to get the pronunciation correct. But we're going to be in Kentucky next year, and it is at the Downtown Convention Center, because I know that there's 2 locations there, and the dates have been announced, and you can start planning for that now, which is exciting. Always great to put it on your calendar. If you haven't been to one in person, it's so much fun to connect with people. You might meet people that you've been on Zooms with or that you're chatting with on Facebook, and you get to meet them in person for the first time. So in-person connection is super important. Training from the field, that is always one of my favorites because I love to learn from everyone doing awesome things out in the field. And then we have amazing guest speakers too. This year, I loved the ones that we had, which was Amy and Blake. So it's just so much fun. And Scentsy always plans really great activities for us, and seeing all the products in person makes a big difference. Like Steffi said, I did notice this year that, wow, these warmers are like really great sizes. So seeing everything in person makes a big difference. And then that connection with other reps and your team.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I live like 50 minutes from Louisville, and they say Louisville. It's like there's no vowels in it. It just runs together. So it's like Louisville, like that. But there's a lot to do there. I'm gonna try to. I really want to try to go to downtown Louisville and do maybe some short video clips to kind of show everybody what it's like down there and things you can see and do. And so that way you've got an idea of it, and so you won't be coming into it blind, but you can walk to so many places. It's a beautiful city, and there's quite a lot to do downtown. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see everybody there.
Well, thanks for sharing with us. We're super excited
You're
too.
welcome.
Scentsy Family Reunion alone is just exciting, but being able to visit new areas and different destinations is just the cherry on top. So we're super excited. I need to stop saying super excited. I was reading somewhere how that's like a cliche, so you guys hold me accountable to that. Cass, go ahead and unmute.
I wanted to tell a little mini story. If you guys have ever heard my story, you've probably already heard this, but for those who haven't, I went to my first SFR in 2013. I had a team of 9. I had joined in January. This was now July. I sat there and listened to Megan Clements. If you're Canadian, you likely know who that is, speak. And I resonated right away. I was like, the very basics. I was like, she's Canadian, I'm Canadian. She has 3 kids, I have 3 kids. And that's where my, if this bee could do it, so could I, came from. And I sat around many other people who were very negative. They were like, that's because she works at, City Hall. Her husband's a lawyer. They have money. They know people. And they didn't do it in a like rude way. They actually were like, if I knew that many, or if I had a full-time job, like, so shift that low. But I heard it as negative. And I was like, I am going home and doing this. If this girl can do this and learn this, and she, said she never came from sales before. She was shy to even speak. And she said, she wanted to share her story. I got so motivated that I told my SSD that I wanted to be a director by September. And she kind of like, for sure, Cass. And I was like, oh my God, like, no, I just told you I'm going to be a director. So anyways, fast forward, I went home. In 48 hours, I recruited 9 people. I'm not even saying that to brag. I was so inspired by her story that I didn't have a story. So I told her story to as many people as I could. And I said, and now I've joined this. And if you're interested, let's do this. By the end of that September, I hit director with team of 27. And every single month I've ever been in Scentsy, I have been paid at title. And again, not a flex at all. It is because I immediately wanted to help every single person that came into my organization, and a lot of you guys, across social. But because I knew what it felt like to sit there with my team of 9. I knew nothing. I went to that because I earned some little mini giveaway she was doing, not mini, like very cool giveaway to pay for my ticket. We couldn't afford to go, so I sold my purse and my husband sold his laptop. And I promised him that if we went to this and this went well, I would one day replace his laptop. I still have not replaced his laptop 13 years later, and I'm just going to add the income disclosure later. $2.5 million later. It was never about the laptop. It was that he gave up something that meant so much to me. And when it became time for him to get it back, he decided to just go out and get a used one. It wasn't really that valuable to him anymore. So I want you to know that if I could sit there with a team of 9 with 375,000 consultants in the company then, and there is 1/3 that amount now, with 1 million that we know have been in and out the door based on consultant IDs, that could come back and reinstate. It's never been a better time than right now. No smoke. Honestly, I just gave you the facts. We are 0.03% consultant base, meaning 99.97% of people in the 14 countries we are in do not sell Scentsy. That is a lot of people to sell to. So let's spend time with people that show you what is possible and spend less time in those groups where people are telling you it's not possible. That's their story. They don't get to write yours. I just wanted to add that in for anybody that's been doubting or been following, the poopy diapers, as Wendy Robinson's calling it. I love you guys. We're going to do it. And we're going to have a huge comeback this fall. And I can feel it already. It feels like fall. And it's the middle of summer in Canada. That's it. That's all.
Okay, thank you. So I know that we went over just a few minutes, but there's so much information that was given to us at SFR, and we would be on here for a whole nother hour if we went over all of the other amazing things. So what we will commit to is I will put a standalone post with Eldon's Spark session from yesterday in the Scented Skills Studio group on Facebook. That sounds like a tongue twister. But I will put that there with the link. So that way I really do encourage everyone to watch that. If you ever get discouraged over the next 6 months with earning the trip, watch that video again and again and again, because that's what I'm planning on doing myself. We will also, under this particular Spark Session post, we will include some of the other links, like for Heidi and Orville, where they did an Amazon, I think it was a YouTube video where they just kind of shared a little bit more in detail about this move and the importance of it to protect our brand and to grow our company brand awareness. And then we'll also have the link to the Coca-Cola announcement as well. Someone put in the chat that, oh my gosh, there's more to it in that video. So we can't share it all here on Spark Sessions. Next week, we are going to have Carrie Cheney on, and she's going to delve into the monthly edit. If you've noticed, there's been some really significant changes to enhance that, and we want to go over that and what's to come for this next fall and holiday season. So don't miss that. I hope that you guys have an amazing night, an amazing month, and also an amazing season. And I do want to thank everyone, Steffi, Brandy, Lauren. Oh gosh, who else do we have? Sorry, I'm trying to look at the names here. Samantha Baker, and Andrea. Thank you so much for helping us this evening. It's been a great night. It's a lot to digest, but that just tells us that we're going to have a fantastic season ahead. So everyone have a great night, and we'll see you on Thursday Night Shift.